everyone, PTL here. Back when I first got my Zpacks tent, I did a setup in fast motion. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it in real time just so people can learn how to set up the Zpacks tent, and also at the end give you a trick of how I can fold up the fly without using a clip. I'd like to say to start, some people like to set their poles at a certain height. They measure out what the height is and go by that. I actually like to start with my poles small and then adjust them based on the terrain the tent's sitting on. So here I go. When I fold up my tent, I try to keep it so that the screen is covered up, so that when I pull it out, the screen is covered, because if it's raining out, you don't want it to get all wet. It's a little breezy, so it might blow away on me a little bit till I stake it down. So I have 6 of these mini groundhog stakes and 2 north face stakes that are a little bigger and stronger for the tent poles. So the first thing I'm gonna do is stake down the corner guidelines. So I'll start with one of them. Just pick a spot and push it in. Pull the other one out a little bit. I like to leave a little slack in them. What I'm going to try to do is go diagonally from the other guideline. And again, leave a little slack in the line, so when I lift the tent up with my poles, there'll be some slack there for it. I'm not perfectly diagonal, so I might adjust that one a little bit. It's not too bad, so I'm gonna go with it. So the next thing is to take my poles, which right now are probably a little short. I'll do one of them. I'll adjust the height when I get the other one up. And then I'll go ahead and adjust the height. Other side. So normally what I'll do is I'll then stake out one of the flies completely, because I'm only using one side. So you clamp it on the 2 hooks and then tighten it down. Okay, then I use the other 2 groundhogs on the side. Now, one thing I've learned from watching other hikers, that you can actually take a stick and tie a stick up here to actually pull this out higher. I haven't been doing that. I actually just tighten these up from the ground, but if you put a stick under here with a little notch on it, you can get a little more height and room on the sides here. So I'm going to tighten down all my corners. Stake out the other side. And again, you can put a stick under here to lift it up a little higher, get a little more headroom inside. And then if I want to play with the poles, I can do that. I can adjust the height a little bit. Seems pretty good right now, pretty tight on top. And I can stake out the other side if I'm not going in right now. That's pretty much it. Okay, so one of my methods that I figured out on how to fold up one side to get a little more air circulation. You know, if you're on a hot day, it's raining out, and you've got the whole tent closed up, you're gonna get a lot of condensation in there. It's gonna be pretty stuffy. So you want to, you know, if it's a nice clear day, you can actually leave one or both sides open and get plenty of ventilation inside. But if it's rainy, what I would do is, you know, some people use clothespins or other things. I don't want to carry that extra weight, and I don't want to use the clothespins. So what can I do to staple this up part way to get some airflow when it's raining? And so what I figured out is I can hook one side on, take the other side that has the clip on it, and basically roll this up. You know, you're probably going to get a little bit of flap in it, and if the noise bothers you, it won't work. But this is one method. And then basically run your clip through this loop first. After rolling it up, then go through the other side like you normally do, and then tighten down your other side door. So only one side is on the clip at the bottom. And you can see now you have, you know, enough protection to keep the rain from coming in. The rain will hit this fold up and run down. Might get a little bit of a drip here, but you're far enough away from the tent and you have some ventilation underneath as well. Turn up the stake. And so that'll is an easy way of getting an overhang with ventilation. Another method that I recently learned, I think it was from Screwball's post, is that you can actually do the same thing. You stake out the one side, leave this side unattached from your guy line, and then just get a stick or bring an extra stake and stake it straight down. So now you have the ventilation coming in between the two doors. This will protect the tent from the rain coming in, and you also get ventilation coming in between the doors there. So you could either stake one down or roll this one up and connect both sides through your clamp here. Okay, so I wanted to give you a little more detail of doing the toggles and the clips and hooking everything up. So I'm going to start. Here's the tent with the door closed. Right in the middle here is a toggle with some clips. And you basically, this is used if it's a windy day after you tighten down your string on your main pole. And again, your doors are connected down below there. You can hook this toggle up to keep it from flapping around. I'm going to unclip it. You can see down here that this clip, one goes on each side. One of these rings goes on each side, and then you would tighten the string down. So I'm going to loosen the string. You just take this and just lift it up, loosen it a little bit, undo one of them, and then I can just roll this up. And there's a little clip here, and there's another toggle underneath that you can roll the door up and clip it here to leave it open. I'm not gonna roll the other door up, but if it was a nice day, it wasn't gonna rain and it's really hot, you can actually roll both doors up, toggle them like this so the whole side's open, and also if you open the other side, you'll get a nice breeze going through. The only thing with that is you have no privacy, so the door is closed at night, gives you a little bit of privacy, but if it's hot, you want to get some breeze going through and ventilation, open both doors up. So now what I'd like to show you though, I've got my tent set up, the other side's completely closed. This side is, one side is closed. I'm going to actually get in the tent. And I want you to see that it's a little harder when you're in the tent to close your other door. So I get in my tent, I take my shoes off, climb in, got all my gear in here. I undo this one toggle, roll it down. See, I gotta loosen this one up a little bit. Hook it onto this clip. Look at the clip, has two sides to it. You hook the clip on, and then from inside the tent, you have to pull this shut. So that's what you do from inside. And coming out, you just reach out, loosen it a little bit, undo that one side. This is free and you can come back out. So starting from scratch, you can see each of the flaps of the doors has a little ring, and the piece coming off your stake for the main pole has this little hook, and you're going to put one clip on each side. So I'm going to take the one door over here, clip it through that. The other door goes on the other side, and then you just take your string and pull it tight. And then you can put your other toggle through this little cord clip. I call everything a clip, but it's a little piece of cord, and that'll keep this from flapping around. So just wanted to give a little more detail on how to hook everything up. Praise the Lord. So there it is, the Zpacks tent set up. With an option to close both doors, or a couple methods to fold one side up and get some ventilation. Praise the Lord.